CrossFit is changing, and I definitely called this last year in one of my videos.
When you're the lead programmer for the CrossFit Games, in essence, you become a coach to the fittest people in the world.
Since Adrian Bozman took over the CrossFit Games, we're seeing a lot more gymnastics and more complex gymnastics. The newest development is there are handstand pirouettes in the team competition in the semi-finals, and the individuals has just been released, and there is a ring complex. This is what a handstand pirouette looks like, and it actually doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look too difficult, but what's really interesting is they'll be doing it for reps. It will be really interesting to see what the standards are like for this. My predictions for the CrossFit Games season is that we're going to see way more of this kind of gymnastic style movement. And Boz has a bit of a history with gymnastics. It's what he used to do before. I think he did something like circus style gymnastics.
You know, having been trained as a circus performer for years in San Francisco.
There are lots of videos of him doing like L-sit to press to handstand, which was in last year's double under crossover workout, but a lot of people actually didn't get to them.
Here comes Nick Matthew. Now he's got to start in a seated position and press to a handstand, walk across those pirouettes and get that ramp, and that is no problem.
There also was pirouettes in the skill speed medley in last year's CrossFit Games. I think this year we'll be seeing them incorporated again, but with more of the athletes being able to do them.
Understand it's not really that hard to get into. Right. Press out that way.
So they'll probably like get rid of something that was holding them back, like the double under crossovers, and get all of the athletes to do these kind of movements, which I think will be really interesting. Boz has apparently spoken on podcasts about CrossFitters being really high level in weightlifting and really decent at endurance, but there's a massive gap with the gymnastics. CrossFitters are nowhere near like the Olympic level gymnastics, and he really does have a point, and it sounds like he wants to sort of raise the bar with the gymnastics. Last year with the wall facing handstand push-ups that it seems like everybody has been practicing. It seems like he's been doing these things to try and remove the kind of cheating elements from the gymnastics movements. A lot of people, when they're doing like a strict handstand push-up when they're facing away from the wall, could do this kind of like hip bend that might help them get up, or they could put their hands really wide. So some of the standards that Boz has introduced kind of prevent some of those things. We could see some things like strict muscle ups, as that has apparently been on CrossFit.com recently, and that is a really good place to look for potential semi-finals and games workouts. We have had strict ring muscle ups before. If any of you remember, back in 2016, Josh Bridges and Brooke Ents really struggled with the standards, and it was on their Road to the Games episode. The standards were hard to judge because of the kind of leg lever that they were doing, but it was really interesting to see all of these top level CrossFit Games athletes kind of set back by a strict ring muscle up.
Brooke has slowed down a lot in between reps on the muscle ups from the first 2 rounds.
Just because they are so much harder when you remove the kipping element. And in that workout they also had strict handstand push-ups. I could maybe see this workout coming up in the games actually. I think that would be really interesting if they bring that back. That workout is called Regional Nate, which is like a variation of Nate without the kipping. Brooke Ents got no rep to loads in this workout and was really upset about it.
Brooke is one of those workouts that's going to be damage control, so she needs to make sure she can kind of stay up there in the picture.
And I could see this happening with a lot of athletes that maybe aren't prepared for the potential strict gymnastics coming up. I think maybe from last year a lot of people are prepared for this kind of thing.
Having to practice those bar pullover things.
Really?
What
makes you think those might come up?
Boz, like, he loves gymnastics. And the press to handstands, just been like practicing that. You can't dismiss anything. You know, then I've been trying the strict bar muscle ups.
There definitely is a trend that's happening. We could also potentially see muscle ups into ring dips. We saw the dips on the bar last year with the kind of walk in between, which was really interesting. And in previous years, we've seen like parallel handstand walks. I think we're just gonna see a lot more gymnastics. And the handstand hold in the box was in the age group quarterfinals as well. I think this is quite an exciting development, and it really is like functional. I don't feel like it's massively gimmicky. I think some of the things like the double under crossovers can feel like a bit of a gimmick, but strict gymnastics is obviously really functional, and I think Boz is right that we should be trying to reach the higher levels of gymnastics to kind of meet where the weightlifting already is and the endurance-y kind of stuff. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Did you think that last year the CrossFit Games went a bit too far with the crossover double unders and some of the other movements they brought in? Watch this video next to hear my take on it. Thank you for watching guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye.